laptop and lets me get it right in with the same passwords and everything. I don't know what's up with it.
I have the same problem with my computers here in the studio. If I go to like a couple other computers, it won't recognize the password.
Yeah, same with me. Now, my girlfriend has the same problem. Sometimes she can't get on with the phone either, and I don't know if it's something we're missing or what's going on with it.
Oh, maybe that's the problem. Karen Banks also posts up a lot of stuff where she likes going to this one lake that I guess back after World War I or during World War I, a lot of the service personnel would come to this base for medical and whatever and get discharged. And for some reason, they tossed all this stuff into the lake. I'm talking medals, ID, dog tags, sterling silver, all kinds of, and she finds this stuff all the time. It's shocking to see history like that, just treated like that.
I know, it's a treasure trove. I've seen some of the stuff that she's found, and there's a lot of, I know even after World War II, especially when we took over and liberated a lot of places, and we captured in the end of the war, look at all the helmets and the uniforms and the daggers and the weapons they just threw in a big hole and just buried them, in medals and whatnot, and for everybody. And like some of them Japanese swords, my God, they're worth thousands of dollars. It's just, imagine finding a pile of them somewhere.
Well, I hope she never wins the lottery and goes over to like where the Russian front was or different parts of Germany, because they're still finding massive, machine guns, pistols. Some of them actually, they found one here just recently, a Luger, or a bunch of Lugers that was still in the case, with the grease, and they weren't even rusted. So, I mean, you figure how many years they've been buried under the ground. They find, shells, artillery shells, mortars, all this stuff that actually are still alive. And again, massive German helmets and stuff like that, and GI helmets and stuff like that, and a lot of, I hate to say it, the remains. And there's one group over there, when they go out there, looking for artifacts, they're respectful. They contact the local authorities when they find bodies and body parts, and where they can be, interned in the right way.
Yeah, could you imagine some of the land there that has witnessed and had not one but two world wars on there, where there's been mass bodies and maybe graves, and somebody come along, if they're not respectful, disturbing these spirits. My goodness, the stuff you could stir up and bring home if you're not careful.
Well, that would be one place for you to go, wouldn't it? If we're looking for any weird ghosts and stuff like that. A battlefield like that, where it was, horrible. I mean, horrible. Just, how people died stepping on landmines, mortars, machine guns, getting shot, snipers, all this stuff. I mean, it would be really rich.
Absolutely. And the thing is, there's still some live landmines and stuff out there. You got to.
That's what I just said. They're still finding. I was just reading an article here just recently. They were finding like dozens and dozens of live shells, not just machine gun shells or rifle or bullets. They were finding stuff that like grenades and stuff like that. They were still active. Could you imagine picking up one of those and getting what?
Yeah, you could blow yourself right up to Kingdom Come. And, when you step on some of them landmines, if you can hear it click, as long as you don't take another step, you might have a chance to put enough weight on it to keep it down to get off. But usually you don't hear it, and you just take another step, and then you lose a leg or you're blown in half. It's all bad. Yeah,
I've seen some of that stuff. It's not good. I mean, as soon as you felt that little click or that crunch, you sat there and you knew. You can only stand there so long. Okay, and you're going to move, and as soon as you move, that's when it goes off. And usually it takes more than your leg off.
Oh, yeah. And if you don't have the right pressure on it, it sets it right off. So it's a very finite science there that it all ends bad.
Yeah, that's what I hate about wars. But you know what? Area 51 turned out a lot better than I thought it did. Only a few arrests. They didn't storm the gates. They really got down to dancing and music and buying, UFO artifacts and swapping stories and drinking beer.
There you go. Spirits, the other spirits.
Yeah, the liquid spirits.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Get piled up on those and go look for some landmines. That sounds like a venture.
Yeah, well, it makes me feel good, though. I mean, there was more people than you thought, a lot less than what I thought. But, a lot of people, did show up and they had fun. And, of course, the military leaked out they were going to bomb it. Did you read that article that they slipped up and they said they were going to take their B-1 bomber and bomb the people on the other side of the gate? And then they came out. And
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they did. And then they came out and apologized that never supposed to have got out.
Huh. Well, I already figured they got something set up anyway. They beefed up security. And here's the thing. They're not going to let 1 million people come into a secret military base that's got a lot of sensitive material there. They can't, God knows if it got out to bad other countries. So, yeah, they're going to do what they can to protect that. I mean, it's for our benefit, not just theirs.
Well, we got disclosure anyway. The Navy came out, correct, and said, yes, 2004, 2015, or whatever, 17, 17, that the videos were real. They were UFOs. Now, that doesn't mean they're UFOs from another planet. It could be our UFOs. They could be unidentified UFOs from Russia or China. Who knows? But at this point, it's something that's unidentified, and they have proof, and it's something that a human could not control, because they would be like, sticky stuff inside the spaceship.
Right. And I have read a few reports and theories that it could be a secret supersonic drone project. Now, the funny thing was, it did seem like some of the top brass knew. They didn't seem shocked when this was going on at the time by some of the reports from some of the pilots and stuff. And I got to tell you, if you go from 80,000 feet to just above the water in like a second, we're not made to withstand those kind of G's. You would definitely be dead real quick. If you would pass out, probably, I don't know what it is, 10 or 12 G's, if you even lived to that much less.
You'd be at the speed it was going. You'd be like coming apart. You'd be watching your body just kind of like disintegrate. Also, there was reports, like the alien bodies from Roswell. The reason why they might not even be in existence to the day is some of the officials said that they were decaying rather fast and they couldn't stop the decay after they were dead, and no matter what they tried. So maybe there is no aliens left to sit there to show that the aliens even were there.
Right. And not only that, who knows, their body chemistry could be so toxic to us it could wipe out half of mankind. We don't know. It's a good theory. It's something I wouldn't want to take a chance on. I mean, look at the astronauts when they came back from space. They were quarantined for a month. And that was just as a precautionary. Imagine if an alien come here and they died, the different chemicals or germs or elements that they could bestow upon us. So it's scary stuff.
Well, War of the Worlds, that was the opposite. The last remake of it is that they, the aliens, when they started running out of their air in their spaceship, they had to cycle our air in, and then they started dying because of what our air, all the bacteria and all that stuff, they couldn't, survive. Well, it's a two-way street, dude. I mean, the aliens might pass the same thing as, of a different type and wipe out mankind, and we wipe out the aliens. So, hey, there's nothing left of either one.
That is very logical either way. I do can see that happening, absolutely. And, it's just on our own planet, just the ice caps alone can thaw out something like you mentioned several times. It could be dormant for God knows how long, and we're playing with fire here with this stuff.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, again, I want to do a big shout out to the truckers. Earl messaged me the other day, said he likes Night Dreams Talk Radio. He said it reminds him of the old Coast to Coast back in the mid-'90s. Well, I want to thank Earl for that. Again, we are heard worldwide on the internet. Very popular in Australia, UK, and France, and actually even Spain. Because I remember months ago, I had a radio station from Spain call me up and interview me in the middle of, it was like early, 4 o'clock in the morning, in big time difference, saying that my show was very highly rated at being downloaded in that country. because of the paranormal. I try doing things a little bit different on my show. I'm not scripted. I won't do a script. Okay? So if I get a guest that comes on or wants to come on, and he sends me this big script of questions to ask, I'll read it over, but I tell him right off the bat, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to talk like we're in my living room, and sitting on the couch having a beer, and we're going to talk about whatever the subject is. And I find that so much more better. I start really getting my hair raised when I have to ask, well, when did you see this? When did this happen? When did you notice this? I don't want to ask questions. If you're going to have me ask you questions, my show is not for you. I'm just telling you that. You're not going to be on my show. It won't work out. So what I try to do is, get into the nitty gritty. And a lot of times like tonight, I let Dennis tell what he wanted to tell. And I asked questions when I thought I needed to ask questions. But boy, he said a lot. And I find that very uniquely, he, in an hour and a half, told everything that was about the American Stonehenge. That was really good. Now, also on Friday, I forgot to say, RW will be back on for the first hour. RW has I don't know how many lives cats have, but this guy has as many almost as a cat does. James, do you remember how many times he's actually died?
I believe it's 7. I believe it's 7. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned 7 because I said to him the other night, look, stop trying to break the record, man. You're pushing your luck. Just let it go, It's crazy.
Well, boy, I'd be either comfortable with death at that point or really scared about it because, boy, it's just the luck, like one time in the car accident where he broke every bone in his body. I don't know. It's you're right, Karen. He is with 9 lives, but maybe he'll have even 12. Then, having cancer, then all the other issues he's had. And he seems to pull out of it where other people has had those issues die.
Yeah, it's just not his time. He still has some things to do that we don't know. People, it's amazing. We fulfill our life's commitment every day, and we just don't realize it by just a simple walk down the street. Maybe you slowed up a car that would have, if you hadn't slowed up, could have died, and somebody would have got pregnant and didn't, or whatever. We just don't know.
Yeah, and he was dead one time, 13 minutes before they revived him. I think he even said 20 minutes, I think. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, they come out and said, before they said, after about 3-4 minutes, you get brain damage. But do you know what? There's been a lot of cases where people have been dead up to half an hour and all of a sudden they're back alive for some reason and they don't really have much any, physical damage. That's really interesting, huh?
That is. And especially if they weren't in an extremely cold climate that could slow down your metabolism in your blood or whatnot. But yeah, it's very rare and it's very, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, if you guys ever seen a UFO land come out of the water, or you've been abducted, I want to hear your story. You can get a hold of me at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. That's nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. You want to be a guest, and you got at least an hour's worth of content of talking about your experiences. Again, nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to have you on. We're looking for anything right now, like UFO abductions, cryptics, Bigfoot, Mothman, and if your house is haunted. And you put a picture on your wall and it starts bleeding. I want to hear about that one too.
Yeah, I removed that haunted mirror. My goodness, went back and it was blood running down the wall. I still have that vision in my head. It was freaky. Good. They moved out of that house. Thank God.
Yeah, and what can I say? Our time is just pretty much gone. It's like 3 hours. I never thought I could do a 3-hour show at my age. I was doing a 2-hour show before I got injured, and then I dropped it down to an hour. But it seems like the people like it. One thing I like about doing this on 6 o'clock, we beat the competition.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Look, look where you were 2.5, 3 months ago. You never dreamed you're doing could even do a show maybe, and now you're doing 3 hours like clockwork.
Oh yeah. Well, James, mute your phone. We'll talk to you not tomorrow, but we'll talk to you on Wednesday. You have a great day tomorrow.
Alrighty, bye bye.